Welcome back. Gaeilge Weekly, number 83. Gaeilge Weekly agron iver a 83. The way easier, the bilingual version on legan BHFAD Níos Simplí. How are we all doing this week? Cunas a Tomwids on Tachtan Show. I always record this version of the podcast on Tuesday, so only being me ag tafadu on legan show tin fud crailu air on March. And I do the other two on Monday, saying them on Da Chawanella, air on Loon. So yesterday, if you listened to the other versions, ma thought to Gaeilge lesh on Da Laganella. I said yesterday, Dorts me in ye, that I was destroyed. My body was wrecked. Fi me Scriosta agus grau ma churp Scriosta kovma. And I suppose the same thing is true today, but maybe not to the same extent. So tá rud céanna fear inniu agus is fear scale inniu freisin. Peidir go pointse ní ar a level céanna, so just to a point, not to the same level. But yeah, my legs are still fairly done in. Tá ma chusa soch thursach fós agus Scriosta really, and that is because I was running in the half marathon here in Seville on Sunday. Tá sé sin mar gra méid ri sa lap marathon and so is Seville air on Downach. And I have to say it was really enjoyable, but really difficult as well. So when my sword that navas ach vi se anna dacher egg on Cana. I've been training, I suppose, for the last few months. I mean, I'm always running. I always like running. So, you know, it's even a vet a great agus a goni be me great Eranos anyway. But I suppose specifically over the last 3 months, I've been doing more shorter races, like 3V and Noose, Tá méid déanú níos mó Rossi, níos gira, and as well as that, agus có maith le sin running, training about 3 times a week. It's around about 3 or iri na seachtaine, no an I na seachtaine. And really focusing in on trying to get a specific time fi me ag dtír isteach ag iri oríthe. All that time was to go under 90 minutes, to go under an hour and a half in the half marathon. So vi me geri iano in níos lú ná níocha nóméid, no níos lú ná or gale. Agus rinne me, I did it. And just, well, yeah, vi nóméid to spare agam is stolcha. I had a minute to spare for Kintam have agam sa jara. Or 1, 8 nóméid is fiche agus 47 seconds. So 1 hour, 28 minutes and 57 seconds, my final time. So I was really happy with that. I wasn't fully sure the night before if I'd be able to do it. Ní ra mé éonchéad fan géad sásta an ihe rifrai on main in aun iano. But thankfully I was able to get over the line in that time. Buics le dia bhí me an lán. Alina Hrasnu san sin. There were a lot of things that went against me that made it tougher. So bhí alán rudí agus hui siad ima ai agus bhí sé níos deacra marial sin agus níos dúchlánaí marial sin. It was more challenging because of that. For example, as you'll know if you listen to the podcast often, má tátu in our lanich on seo ar an bud creile gomininic. If you follow the podcast, no má tátu in our lanich our Instagram. If you follow us over on Instagram as well, I'm often have all sorts of different music going along with different posts. I only thought along Kjol's your frual agus our only Sir Frula gach post no gach scale a churm sus, every kind of post or story that I put up. And I always listen to music when I'm running I gcónaí bí mé géisteach le cheol nar bhím ag ri. And of course the night before, so Saturday night, ihe de Saturn, I was just about to go to bed, plugged in my phone's charge, so churme on phone charge fi mé géirí a luchtú. Honest go mai sé, you know, céad fan géad don lá ar gionn, so that would be 100% for the day after. And surprise, the USB port had broken on my phone again. The import USB brishta arís air my phone, and I use USB earphones. I've recently changed over from headphone jack to USB earphones. I just make explain of course, are annoy. Ach, ornta just tarlí and ruddy cosula sin. Sometimes things like that happen, and I almost do believe, you know, things like that happen for a reason. Tarlí and ruddy cosula sin agus tá fá leis freisin. There's a reason for it. Listen, it's not a big deal, you know, come on. I still had both legs, I was still in my shoes, I was still in good shape, I was still able to have my breakfast, agus on warm-up ENF to do the warm-up, agus gachradella, everything else. But I was like, Jesus, I've never ran this distance without music in my life. Níl an achar seo ritsa agam riomh I my héal gan a bheith ag éisteacht le cheol. As well as that, it was raining. It never rains in Seville, but it was raining, and it has been raining for the last week here, so ní bhíonn sé churbáistí riomh anseo is Seville, ach an domhnach bhí sé churbáistí. I also had a little glucose pack or glucose gel in my pocket, which always helps me a lot on the race days. So we pack glucose agam I gcónaí lá na rásas matla mé sin a hógáil agus caríonn sé go mór leat. It really does help you. Lost that within the first kilometre. It fell out of my pocket, so chail mé é sin tíbhas siad san 100 kilometre. Hit sé amach as mo fóca, and so I thought, wow, everything is going against me. But the fact that I still did it then, despite all those things, you know, fós bhí man an é sin a dhéanú, agus come off na rodiala, I was like, oh, I'm not proud of myself often. Ní bhíon broadú las an féin go minic, and I rarely say, oh, that's a really good achievement. The thing I did is écht mór ein rud sin an rud a runaway. But I did feel like that, and I still feel like that about the run Sunday, because I kind of had to do it without all the luxuries, is probably not the right word. Ach fiorm íon of gan na rudí a bhíon a charúlam, so I had to do it without the things that helped me in some of those aids, I guess. And the fact I was still able to do it, it made it kind of more special. Bhí sé níos speisialta mar sin, but listen, it was also a lot more challenging. Bhí sé I bhfad níos dúchlánaí freshen. It's always easy after the fact to say, oh, it was nice that I didn't have those things. You know, I go ní tá sé éasca taréis an rás an taréis peirod a bhí ann whatever you had going on. Tá sé éasca rá. Oh yeah, bhí sé níos speisialta, but at the time it was a lot trickier. So I'm not sure would I do it again that way. Níl sagam an Néinhin a rísé sa bhealach sin. But it was really fun, it was really enjoyable. It was nice to do one in the city in which I live. Bhí sé deas an ceann a dhéanú an seo sa chathair ina bhfuil mé I Machónaí, because of course I could sleep in my own bed, and I was running through streets close to my house. Bhí mé in an chola I my laba féin an ihe rihraí, agus bhí mé gri sráidsanna agus ásanna congrach do my cheach hain, and going around a city that I know well, like dul timpeall chathair aithne wa agam urthaí. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Bhí sé anna cool agus bhain mé an taithne bheas. And yeah, I was joking after the race that now that I've got that time, I'll retire from running. Tá mé chun dul score on ri an ish, mar tá an tam sin buinte amach agam. And I always say that after races, but then after a few days, when the pain fades from the body, tréis cúpla lá agus an pein is tócha ag íslú on chirp, I think, you know what, I could go again. His freislum dollarish. So I'm sure I'll be back running in more races later on in the year. But let's see, I haven't signed up for any more for the time being. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Bhí sé, yeah, an a spríúil agus bhain mé an taithne bheas, and nice to train up for something for a few months and get in good shape. And I just feel so good every day. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to be this guy now who I know people get annoyed. They've only been frustrated circling when they have friends who start running or triathlons, especially triathlons. They're chorda ag daoine agus tosnaíonn siad triathlons, no ag ri, no grochiíocht cycling, and it's all they ever speak about, and it's all they ever put up on social media. So seo an tain rud a bhíonn siad ag labhairt faoi, agus an tain rud a churn siad na meán ho síalta. So I'm not trying to be that person. And actually, I suppose my view on running, or the way I approach it, mBéarla maidir leis an ri agus an chuí a bhí me ri agus ag trainal. I try and keep it quite simple, and I don't get involved in a lot of the stuff that other people might be involved in, the kind of nerdy stuff, I guess you could call it. Ní simagam I lán rudí níos techniúla stocha, more technical things. For example, I don't have any interest in Strava or tracking my runs or pace or anything like that. Ní léon simagam a Strava, no. Yeah, like trachal gachor a haon mé amach ag ri, and the different shoes and the shoe technologies and the brogi rahads or frulag, some technologíocht ag buint le gach ceann acu. I'm not interested. I'll just buy a pair for 30-40 quid in decathlon Canium Para Brogiratha or decathlon €30, €30 and a roilum and off I go. So I'm not really too interested in the technical side. On the day of the race, there are law on the Ross, so I might like to again have a little pace chart written out for myself so I know how fast I have to go. So on Lewis sa bheith scríofa amach agam or piece of pauper on a scoile is agam kick off tappy as chaith me dul, or maybe to have a glucose pack as I said and then lose it on the first K. So glucose pack no gel a bheith agam agus a chailu air an gade kilometre. But that's part of it. Again, there's always things you can control and things you can't control. You go need to ruddy Will to a Ganasarhu, agus ruddy nach will to a Ganasarhu. I guess the glucose pack was something I was in control of and I just messed up with it. So actually mar aveen say ornta, that's how it is sometimes. So that was really good. Glad to have that out of the way and to be able to now take it easy for the next week or two and not have to worry too much about training or whatever else, especially just on a hógáil go bugé ar fra seachtain ó go agus gan a bheith ag smaoineamh an tamar fad faoi chaith mé tréineáil ó chaith mé é seo a éthe agus mar sinne. So what else has been on cad eile atá ar siúl le tamil anuas. I recently booked last week, I think, might have even been this day last week. So on Saturday sa Katsa, better actually on last show, I booked my trip to Italy for March. So I think I was speaking about this last week. So chur me Thuras go dtí an Idal in Áirithe by McDull in me Morta. So I'll be going in March and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm going for 2 weeks to McDull or fra Kikisha. So I'm fada, but the only reason I'm doing that long is because I have a full apartment to myself to stay in. And team for will me Giri fannacht a maid sinama na Marial Gwil Orson agam dum féin. Agus is féidir an fannacht san Orson sé. I wouldn't stay that long in a hostel or a hotel or an Airbnb. Ni bhéna Giri fannacht an maid sinama in Oslo no hostel no Airbnb. So I'll be going, I think it's the 19th of March. I must check, it's the Wednesday. So on the Chédín and St. Zurich Taréis lá é Leporic straight after St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to be here in Seville for Paddy's weekend. I think that'll be fun. It was really good last year to my Giri event so in Seville. Lá Leporic agus Ger Seachtainna lá Leporic. It'll be a bit strange this year because it's on a Monday and of course that's not a public holiday here. So I share siúil on Loon agus ní lásír on so. So I don't know how we'll celebrate it, probably more so on the Saturday, but it's ní smó on Saturn. But going to Bologna, or a place very close to Bologna. It's just outside Bologna, so to make dulg Bologna, Noach an Chongurk, the Bologna, a place called Casalecchio di Reno, I think is the name of it. So áit dar random Casalecchio di Reno, Ciapam. Agus by me non-fannacht in Orson agus by Orson agam dum féin an chuidas mód san am agus mis an sin. I'll have an apartment to myself. Most of the time I'll be there from a friend that I know who lives in Casalecchio di Reno but isn't going to be there for that time period. So cara atá agam atá in a chónaí an sin Casalecchio di Reno ach ní bhaid sé an sin ri an tréimhse sin. He won't be there during that kind of period while I go. So really looking forward to it. To make Soul go more or less. I'm going to do a lot of travel within Italy while I'm there. I'll still be working while I'm there by my fósta gobar agus mis an sin. I almost don't want it to be like a holidays where I'm going and every day, I have to eat out today, can't make ihilmach. Because I think there's kind of pressure sometimes with holidays, especially if you're traveling on your own, and I'll be going there on my own. So ceapan goil brew orintha le leichen de sira gohoritha má tátuig tastal I the Einergs by Mishag Dul on Shin Ima Einer, because it's almost like every day there's such high expectations with it and you have to do this and have to do that. So gach law been to exula lán ruddy agus cahitu a sho a yenov cahitu a shin a yenov. You have to eat out every evening and you have to see everything kaitu gachar the ekal and you have to go to this tourist attraction even if you've no interest in it. Kaitu dulgzi on Otsa and tourist attraction show. Few monowelain sim bit agat sa rud shin. So I'm looking forward to just having the apartment to myself, which helps because I don't have to go out for dinner every night. I can, for 2 days in a row, I just want to not leave the apartment and do my own thing. I can, to my honest in I probably won't because I want to make the most out of it while I'm there. But it's more so like the life I have here in Seville, I'll be able to live the same life, hopefully, initially, just for 2 weeks, by man on sail chéine a bheith agam san Idal ar fa gá Yachtans. That's the kind of idea with it, and that's why I'm looking forward, and that's why I'm happy to go for 2 weeks, where normally 3 days somewhere for me is loads. Three lá in galore ama dumsa. And I'm going to try and do a lot of travel around initially to my Giri Lantashla Liana Chimpel na Hidala. Bologna is really well linked to different places. I was amazed. So tá Bologna ceangal sa Anwa fad go hátsna to Friúla. San Idal to Milan, for example, it's only just over an hour on the train, Nisjak. Or Clig, no Bugni ní smó, no or Clig, go Milan. It's only, I think, 40 minutes to Florence. Ceapan nach bhfuil sé ach carcanómid go Florence. And loads of other small cities that are within 20 or 30 minutes striking distance. Tá lán áitsnella níos lú agus níos siad ach 50 nóméid nó 30 nóméid an train Cesena, Modena, Imola, Parma, mar hampla. So ag tinú le cuairt horts rinsed in the hot na sin. I'm looking forward to visiting a lot of those places and just spending a day and afternoon there, and hopefully really get to know the real Italy rather than just going into Bologna city centre every day. I'm sure you see a lot of the real Italy there as well. Tá Kinsa go echi to along and fear idol on sin freshen, but it'll be nice to go to these smaller random places and just kind of getting on train and get off at any stop almost. And yeah, hopefully my Italian will be good enough then to hold my own, like couldn't say by my chudsa dálasha chov mashin go my men on. Yeah, it's in look ma agus go my men on Koratsa Chunyal Ligoni. I'll be able to kind of maintain conversations the whole time and use it and understand it, no problem. Usads agus Hishkins vibe BM still doing my lessons like I spoke about last week. Post to my tenu Michachtana, mar Louis May on Sachten Shikacha, as I mentioned. So yeah, really looking forward to that. To my sul go more Lashin. And it's also nice to have something in the back of my mind. I always think about holidays, ag only being smoin if we late in the Sierra or just trips in general, tourists, generalta. Sometimes the best thing about them, aren't on ruddis far, fuhu, it isn't actually the trip itself or the holiday itself. Nahe ishin like on thurs a fein, on the late in the Sierra eat fein, but more so the actual month or two beforehand while you're looking forward to it. Spitzer ní smó an bhí nó gábhí rivray agus tusa ag sú leis agus tusa ag smoin of faoi, and while you're kind of thinking about it as well and having that thing in your mind even for work. I mean, I'll be going, I think the day after Shatan na Gaeilge finishes, so by make fágáil lot of one to race Shatan na Gaeilge, and obviously I'll be busy with Shatan na Gaeilge with a lot of different things going on then, but make golóch le Shatan na Gaeilge agus lan ruddy ar siúl ag an am sin. Before that, I'm very busy finishing this course, or trying to finish this course that I'm making. Tá mé an golóch faoi láthair agus tá mé golóch le mí. I know Australia have been busy for last month. Agus mi sé géirí an course seo bhfuil mé crothú a cricnú, so trying to finish this course that I'm creating. So I'm going to be busy up until St. Patrick's Day, really. I may chnóthach go dtí lá ile porc nó hart ar an am sin. On and off busy. Ach sacha nóthach really an chuid modes in a seachtainna idir an ish agus an sin. So it'd be nice to have that as a bit of a reward. And I'll still work while I'm over there. I'll bring the laptop first by my gober agus mis an sin. I wouldn't like to not be working while I'm there. Near Watlam gan a bheith a gober agus mis an sin. I'd be awful bored. Vech mein dov dots agus vech ladsran capan. Mulla meach me a gober if I wouldn't be working. But it'll be nice to have that freedom of, oh, listen, tomorrow's Thursday, but if I don't want to work tomorrow, that's fine, and I'll go to this place up the coast and see that, you know, by shigazasig and I'm keen or raw. Okay, Mark and Zerdinach, listen, mon will me giri ober ni kahi me, you know, just by make genuine needs more content. I'll be doing more content, I might not do classes and I can go to this place or that place. So yeah, that's the plan. Really looking forward to it. Ag new Comorla, and I've said that about 10 times so far in this podcast, but at least you're learning that phrase in Irish. Or lied, thought ag fólam an frása sin. So Gaeilge, I'm looking forward to it. And one other thing I wanted to speak about on the podcast this week. Rud Awan Ella around me igiri raw air on Bud Craylogs, around me igiri Lauritz fui air on Bud Crayla on Sockton Show is a video game I've just finished. Now, Fishklehe, anyone who's been listening for the last few months will probably know what video game I'm going to mention here. So I'm going to egéisteacht le cúpla mí anús by Isaguf cén Fishklehe bhfuil mé chun lua anis what video game I'm going to mention now, because I was speaking about it about 2 months ago. Bhí mé gglaart faoi thart ar gá bhí ó hin, so rih an nullag before Christmas, and that is Red Dead Redemption 2, and I even named an episode and dedicated the cover of the episode iwwer seacht ó seacht or seacht ó ocht ceapan, Buchel Bow an Tanamatar, so it was called Buchel Bow, cowboy, in Irish. And that's because I just started the game at that point, or was maybe a week or two into it, and was blown away. Who we say if I'm go more Visha Cove Mashin, it was that good. And last week I finished the game on Sacht and Scotcha, Chreitni me on Cleha. And listen, I'm not a big gamer. Ní gamer more me no. I play a bit of COD, a bit of FIFA, a bit of F1, things like that. So be make gamers beginning COD, beginning FIFA, beginning F1, and that's really it. Agus sinné in our era. But every Black Friday normally, or Black Friday, I buy one game for the PlayStation on the PlayStation Store because they always have a great sale. Like only been Gil no Margo into Kaku Black Friday. So I bought Red Dead because I had heard it was quite good, and I know I was speaking about this on the podcast before. Táisagm Grummy ag lauert fao seo an bud rive seo, so I won't bore you with that. You can go back and listen to that episode, Buchel Bow, if you want to hear more. Tá tú an dulrás agus éisteacht leis an agran sin Buchel Bow, má tá tú a géirí níos mó all amach fao sin. But like it's tough to really put into words or to express how good it was. Tá si dachar chun a churnúil kickoff ma agus a bhí sé. Like it's without a doubt, I feel like I don't even have to say this, it's so obvious to myself. Like gan doubt agus mohiam nach bhfuilarm é seo a rá mar tá sé cos solir dumsa, but easily the best video game I've ever played. Gan doubt gehéisce an fischclethe is fear a dimmer me in my hail. But not only that, ní bháin é sin. I think out of every song I've listened to, every podcast I've listened to, every movie I've seen, every TV series I've watched, so as gach sra telefíe a honnig me, as gach scalan atá feici agam, as gach arán atá clostagam, as gach pudcréile atá clostagam, every piece of art I've seen, gach piece alina atá feici agam, every kind of creative pursuit. I honestly cannot think of anything better than Red Dead Redemption 2. Unbelievable. Duchredza. Like genuinely, I can't think of any other video game where I've learned something from the game. It's genuinely changed my perspective on certain things in life. In Naira, tá sé tréis me dearchu rint ruddy sa sail a ahru. And I think when a video game can do that, nuair tá fischclethe in an é sin a dhéanamh, you know it's something special. Tá sagad gúil sé có speisialta sin. So detailed, such amazing characters, such an amazing story. Có sunrithe, character gen sco agus scale gen sco. It was really, really that good. And so long as well. It took me 2 months to finish. Thug sé gá bhídum chun é chríicnú. Most games I'd finish inside a week or two. Tá go ná tá mé ná cléthe a chríicnú tíbhas sé de seachtain nó ró. You know, I think the best thing you can say about us, sure, the biggest praise you can give us a mullet is mó gur féidir leat hort though, is if you go to any video on YouTube or if you go to a Reddit thread about Red Dead 2, má hinnta go YouTube, fish on YouTube, no beidir thread on sin Reddit faoi Red Dead 2. The one thing that people comment about over and over again on Ruddawan a bhín daoine ag rá a ríis is a ríis is a ríis. They said the same thing. They say the worst thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 is that you can't play the game for the first time again. On the Ruddas Massa for Red Dead 2, ní féid sa leat an chluithe immert den céad ach or óháin. And that says it all. That says it all about what an absolute genuine privilege Dearan sa sin gachrad faoi an privilege atá ag buint leis an gluthe seo a immert don chéad, the privilege associated with playing this game for the first time, in my experience anyway, and the experience of most people who've played it, I think. Agus an taithí céanna ag lán daoine tá tar éis an chluthe a immert le sé nó seacht bliana anús over the last 6 or 7 years as this game was released. I think 2018. I think the start of 2018 tús gábhíle is a thugtaigh when this game came out nar tháinig an chluithe seo amach. and won't, spoil the ending. That's one of the great things. There's actually multiple endings. Tá cúpla craocht friúil, and it kind of depends on your choices throughout the game. Bratton say na rana atá tóchad I ré an chléthe, but unbelievable ending and genuinely almost emotional. At one point I thought I was going to cry. Ag Prince one ceap me gra me chun cuoinú. Like the game just hooks you in so much. If you are playing it, má tá tú chun imirt, the first hour or two can be a bit slow. It might take a while to get into it and to understand the game. Tugann sé píos ama chun a hiiscin agus chun titsman rá leis an gléthe. To kind of fall in love with the game, I would say Derhin. But honestly, if you've got the time, if you've got a console, play it. It will genuinely, I don't want to say change your life. That's too dramatic. Nimhan raw gonna roi shade the hail, but it might chance gonna roi shade the hail and your perspective on things. And yeah, just a ridiculously good game. And if you have any interest, even if you're not going to play it, to maybe look up some things about it, it's definitely worth it. Few mana bhfuil sim agat sa chléthe imirt spéidir tá tú géirí cúpla rud a chóirtú ar lína. You might want to search up a few things online or a few videos and to understand how special it is. Cake was special tugs atá sé. And I said this week on the podcast, there's no way I'm doing the podcast without mentioning it, because I feel like any chance to give the developers or Rockstar, the guys who made it, ein chance dagum hun mulla a hort to kind of give praise or give any type of encouragement, I guess, to the developers and to Rockstar agus gach duine eile I pórteach sa chluiche seo a chruthú who was involved in creating this game deserves every bit of praise they can get. Tá sé tiltte acu max amach, absolutely. So yeah, I was kind of sad finishing it because I said, as people say, you won't be able to play it again for the first time. Ní bhaid an chance agat imirt don chéad ar ríis, but God knows I'll be playing it again and again and again in the future. Gone out, Kinsa go by me ag imirt an chluiche sin a ríis is a ríis sa tauki. So yeah, that is it really for today, guys. A few random topics, couple of topic around the muck. But I've kind of a few specific topics and a few specific show ideas coming up over the next few weeks. So looking forward to them again. Looking forward to them. My catchphrase for this week, Igsúil go mór leis na sol na sin a dhéanú cúpla topic oríthe, a few kind of specific topics for those weeks and a few, I suppose, specific ideas for shows, cúpla smaoin of oríthe le seolna tír friúla. Thank you very much for listening, guys. It's much appreciated. As always, gur mína mágah as a bheith a géisteacht tom fíor bhuíochas mar scanach. Loads of other stuff on Learn Irish Online over on the website, over on Instagram, over on YouTube, and over on the Patreon for the full membership. So lán rud eile le Learn Irish Online chun carry leat leis an Gaeilge a ólam. learnirishonline.com, patreon.com/learnirishonline, agus learnirishonline Instagram, agus YouTube. Míle buchas as bheith géisteacht agus le rómé leat an tatan seogan. I'll speak to you next week. Goodbye, God bless, slán agus bannacht.